Efforts by the electoral body IEBC to satisfy demands by politicians, especially in NASA, have been largely unsuccessful, with the opposition coalition declaring zero confidence in the Electoral Commission after Tuesday's meeting. Anti-IEBC street protests that NASA says will continue and that have turned chaotic in some towns, now catching the eye of Western diplomats. In a statement, the United States has termed NASA's as baseless attacks and unreasonable demands on IEBC, saying they are divisive. The US expressing support for IEBC's efforts to dialogue with political leaders while urging NASA and Jubilee to approach the talks openly, seriously and in good faith. In a similar tone, the European Union has termed NASA's demands as unreasonable, saying the threats of boycott or attempts to change electoral regulations should be avoided. Just yesterday, IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati termed the demonstrations unnecessary, saying NASA concerns had been addressed.
We are still open for those discussions. Some of the issues raised, especially by NASA, have been addressed by the Commission. We are making it public as to what we discussed. And there's still room for more negotiations, more discussions. So I don't see why there should be more demonstrations. Yeah.
And as the Joint Select Committee of the National Assembly and the Senate continues to write its report of proposed amendments to electoral laws ahead of tabling in Parliament on Tuesday, the US, United Kingdom, Germany and the European Union are reading mischief in the amendments.
Our colleagues from the NASA coalition will take that moment to express what they wish to with regard to these amendments proposed.
UK Minister for African Affairs Rory Stewart finds the amendments unnecessary in assuring the country is of a peaceful process. The UK also urging security officials not to apply excessive force while dealing with demonstrations and called for independent investigations into allegations of abuse of force. Earlier this week, the Kenya Private Sector Alliance announced fears that the economic growth could decline from 6 to 5%, citing prolonged political season. This at a time the Rugby Football Union cancelled this year's Safari Sevens, an international tournament, citing political uncertainty. Just recently, Kenya lost its bid to host the African Nations Championship CHAN, and even though the Confederation of African Football cited lack of readiness by Kenya, the Kenyan government blamed the cancellation on the restive political climate. Germany now warning the country could slide to more economic losses if the political brinkmanship persists. Meanwhile, NASA's running mate Kalonzo Musyoka has dismissed the restructured IEBC election management team as a cover-up.
Have information that what is going on there within the change, this thing about ati fulani ametolewa, fulani amewekwa, hiyo ni cosmetic. In fact, the systems ya kuiba tena iko tayari.
Sam Gituko for Citizen Weekend.